Welcome back to Bramley Farm, and on today's episode we've got a very big but kind of sad day for the Christmas turkeys. We're not going to show the kill, but there is going to be graphic images of us plucking, weighing, emptying. So if you don't want to watch the video, please don't watch the video. But if you do want to watch the video, stick around and find out how we go from here to the freezer. So first things first, we're going to have to pick out which one is going to have their one and only bad day here at Bramley Farm. And this is going to be for our consumption, so I'm going to choose, I think, this little man here. He's the smallest, this one or the fluffed up one? Tell you what, we'll weigh both, because I want to do a before and after comparison. Google says they lose 20 to 25% of their weight. I got no idea, so we're going to weigh before and weigh after the whole process. So I'm going to pick up a turkey, I'm going to weigh it, and for the chosen one, I will briefly talk you through the process, and then we'll get into the video. Okay. So once we've got the selected turkey, it's going to be constrained, so the wings don't flap. So I'm going to put it in a feed bag with the hole cut out to put the net through. That just stops them bruising themselves or keeps them calm. I'm going to hang them up by the feet. So the head's out here and they're in the bag. Going to use a non-penetrative concussion technique. You can Google that and see what it contains. And then I'm going to do a ventricle neck cut to bleed them out. Now, the reason why you do a non-penetrative concussion method is because you still want the bird to be alive when you cut the throat, so it bleeds out properly. You don't want to kill it straight, which case the heart stops. Enough chatting, let's pick up a turkey and weigh it. Right, so we have the selected one. I'm just going to weigh it now. So, on the old bathroom scales. Right, 106.8 for the combined two of us. I should have weighed myself first, because now I've got to weigh myself without it. 8.9 kilograms alive, okay? 8.9 kilograms alive. Right, so the setup, we are here in the killing area, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So, I have a plastic feed bag. I have a hole cut in the corner that I'm going to feed the turkey through here, and the head will come out, so it's just the head. So, turkey's in there. I'm going to be feet through here. So, we now got a turkey resting like this, turkey in the bag. And then we'll do the killing, and we will put the bucket underneath the turkey, collect the blood, try and keep the mess, and hopefully keep it as peaceful and as nice as it can be. I don't really know. It's not a very nice process, but it is an honest process. So, without further ado, let's get the turkey in the bag. I won't show you this bit, I won't show you the killing bit, but pick back up with me once the deed's been done and we're about to pluck. See you in a bit. So, the bird's now gone, he's in this stage, and now we've got to pluck him whilst he's still warm. Start with the wing feathers and the tail feathers, they're harder to get out. On the meat that's got fat underneath, i.e. the breast, we pull in the same direction as the feather growth. On the legs and the back, we can pull against the growth of the feathers. We only try and do that we only try to go with the feathers to try and prevent skin ripping. So now it's case we're going to put masks on, because I don't want to get all this downy stuff in my lungs, and we're just going to pluck. Right, so that is now one turkey pretty much plucked. I'm going to be cutting the wing tips off, because I don't want to eat them, so that'll be fine. Now, we dry pluck. This is called dry plucking. The reason why we dry pluck is because this is now going to go in a fridge for 2 days and hang intact. So it's got all the insides in. Basically, a turkey's a game bird, so what you do with pheasants and other game birds is you kill them, you hang them intact for however long you want, up to 7 to 10 days, and it develops a richer flavour. I'm only going to be hanging for 2 days. It's my first time doing it. I've got a fridge that's pretty stable temperature. I'm going for 2 days. It's arbitrary. So before I hang them, I'm going to cut this off, and because we're hanging, dry plucking. There's another option, wet plucking, is where you kill the bird, you put it in hot water, makes the feathers come out easier, and then you can either pluck it a lot easier, or you put it in a big tumbler. But that can bring in diseases because you're making the turkey really wet, and then you don't want to put it in a fridge because you've got wet and cold goobies. So dry plucked it, go in the fridge now for 2 days, and then we will reconvene when I'm emptying it and making it table ready. So I'll see you after the next process. But here is a dry plucked turkey straight from the farm. We are back. It has been 2 days. The turkey has been resting in the fridge. And before I go get it, I thought I'd just tell you about my setup of what I've got. So I've got a disinfected stainless steel table that I'm going to be preparing the turkey here. I've got a set of poultry scissors. Any kitchen scissors will do, but I've got poultry scissors. I've got a sharpened knife to do the knifing, and I've got a container to put the pieces of offal that I want to keep, i.e. heart, liver and gizzards. I've got a towel because everyone needs a towel. I have a bucket with a bin liner for all the stuff that I don't want to keep. Put it in there, keep it all nice and contained. I'm wearing some gloves, and I've got some extra gloves, and a hose at ready to just wash down the station when it gets a little bit messy. So without further ado, I'm going to go get the turkey, and I'll see you back here in a moment. I bring you the turkey. Here it is. It has been resting for 2 days, and time to make it table ready. First things first, let's get rid of the feet, I think. Feet's not looking too pretty. I mean, none of it's looking too pretty, to be fair, but let's get rid of that. So I've got the knee joints here. He's a bit stiff because he's been in the fridge. But we need to cut along the feet joints and get them off here. Just cut round with the knife. We don't want to be cutting any bones or hard stuff with the knife, that will blunten it. That's why we've got the poultry scissors. Snap off actually. One turkey foot. Two turkey feet. You can do things with these. I'm not going to suggest on here, but go and look and see what you can do. So, already looking more table ready as it is. You'll notice I specifically didn't cut the wingtips because we'll cut them off here too, because I didn't want to eat them. And that's as simple as that. So again, cut them there. One wingtip. Two wingtips. Now, I accidentally used the knife that I'm going to be cutting, so I'm going to have to go wash that. 2 secs. My bad. Now, to deal with the neck. So, put them down on the front. Now, the key here is we don't want a massive opening at the front. So, cut the skin down the neck, peel it open, cut the head off, and that'll allow me to go and get the neck, get the croup, and allow the skin to be folded back over the front for cooking. We can now go ahead and cut the head off just here with your poultry scissors or whatever scissors you have available. The closer to the head you make it, the longer neck you have. You can make stock out of the neck or give it to your dog as a treat. Up to you, depends what you want to do with it. One turkey head gone. Now I want to be taking off the turkey neck as far back as I can go. So we peel this back. Also reminding myself to separate the windpipe and the esophagus, because we have to pull that out later. So windpipe and esophagus separated, using the knife to cut through the meat of the neck. Starting to loosen now. Yep. Use the poultry scissors to go through the bones. One turkey neck off and into one of the pot that I want to save that. So if you see the entrance to the neck of the bird now, no head and some tubes. We now need to open this up, and sat in here, in this cavity here, is what's called their croup. Is when they eat the food, it goes in their croup and waits there to be digested. We want that out. The anatomy of the croup, I'll spin it around to you. We have the windpipe, then we have the feeding tube. So they eat through this pipe and it sits in this crop and digested. Now the reason why it's empty is because 24 hours before dispatching the turkey, I made sure to remove all food. If you don't remove food, this is going to be full, and if that breaks, you've got loads of food stuck in there, meat in there, which isn't what you want. So that's just a friendly tip. We'll leave that detached now, and I'll pull it through the back end. Right, so that's the front done, and the reason, remember I said I cut the neck, is when that's finished, if you want and you cook the turkey, you can close the turkey up. That's a brush because it's a male. We'll cut that off. But you can then close up the cavity to stop all the moisture escaping. So that's just a by the by. On to the fun stuff now. Emptying the turkey, make a small incision in there, open it up, scoop out. Being careful not to, there's two things to be careful of. You don't want to break the poo tube. It's probably got a scientific name, but I'm going to call it the poo tube. Because if there is any remaining poo in there, you don't want it in your chicken. And there's a dark green bile duct really close to the liver. If you split that in the bird, you've got to throw the bird away. So be really careful. Get in there, massage everything out, and pull it out. And that is what goes in my bin. So, without further ado, move the legs back, because they're in the way. So we're making a hole here, and we're putting our hands in and scooping stuff out. Got to try and loosen all the membranes first, otherwise you're tugging against nature. I've got the heart. There's the heart. That's what I'm going to keep hold of. There's the duct. There's the green thing you definitely don't want to pop, otherwise bird's ruined. Okay, chop that off there. That's what I was looking for. What have we got back here? A load of mess. So we've got the intestines, we've got the croup, the bile duct, where are you? Pull this stuff out. We've still got the poo tube here, which we don't want to yank just yet. We've got the gizzard, the liver. So now it's out. I can take the liver off. So that's one piece of the liver. Now this is key to check to see the health of the bird. If there's white spots all over it, not a healthy bird, probably want to get rid, probably want to chuck it, there's so much up with it. But that's a healthy looking liver, 1.5 anyway, so we'll put that in the keep box. The other part of the liver is attached to the bile duct. That's the other part of the liver, looking nice and healthy. So we now have the poo tube and lungs remaining. So we want to cut down the side of the butthole. I want to basically cut the butt out. So that is the insides of a turkey. Right, so almost empty cavity. I just got to go and get the lungs out. Now the lungs in this orientation are on the back. The windpipe. That's the windpipe and 2 lungs on either side. Finishing getting out the little bits now. The bits that I missed. We have an empty turkey. Now I've got some blood everywhere. I'm going to wash it with some water, get all the blood off, change my gloves, and that is a prepared turkey. So, because I've now introduced water to wash it, want to make it as dry as possible by using kitchen roll or any other paper towel that you have, just to make sure. I'm going to put it back in the fridge for about 6 hours before I freeze this then. So I don't want to be introducing water or any moisture into the turkey. Now we'll just dab the inside. So that is a table ready turkey from Bramley Farm field to barn to table. This I'm now gonna go put, like I said, I'm gonna put this back in the fridge 6 hours, let it chill, and then I'm gonna wrap it in cling film nice and tightly. Then I've got some paper, freezer paper to wrap that in, and this will then go in the freezer whole. If you want to chop it up, you can go ahead after you've putting it back in the fridge. Okay, so that is it done. I hope that's been educational, useful. If you've got any comments on how I should have done it, if any of you know how I can make this hole smaller, please let me know, just for aesthetic purposes. That'd be excellent. But that there is a turkey. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for staying with me. Please like, comment and subscribe. We will see you on the next one.